podcast, episode 2. And in this episode, it's going to be all about relationships. Now, I've been paying attention to the video analytics of the first episode that I dropped, which was all about college life. And I realized that not many of you guys are actually tuning into that podcast episode. But I still have an audience that actually like the podcast and are actually engaging in the podcast, right? So, I decided I'll just keep uploading podcasts for you guys. And it's been a while. I've been meaning to drop y'all, but so much was going on, and we're here today now. So I'm gonna just share with you guys my story, and I hope you guys will just keep tuning in to the Living in Truth podcast, where it is all about me being 100% authentically myself. Just because the fact I don't have a microphone, right? This does not make you decide to not watch my video. So please do not click out my video. Just keep watching, Trust me, I feel like you would enjoy just listening to my story. Even though I do not have a microphone to pick up my beautiful voice so you can like hear me even louder, but I'm sorry about that. Just stay tuned. Keep staying tuned. Watch on my podcast. So when I think about relationships, I think about, all types. And when I say all types, I mean like I think about platonic relationships, romantic relationships. And really those are the two different type of relationships. So, romantic between a man and a woman, and then I think of the relationship that you build between you and your friends, or the relationship that you build between you and your family. So honestly, I'll just talk about every relationship that I've encountered in my college experience. So to be honest, guys, I will say that the most relationships that I feel like I've built, I feel like was my freshman year. I feel like that was the time of the year when I just socialized way more. One thing I've noticed is that as I've just been continuing, throughout my journey in college, I've noticed that I've gotten more and more antisocial. And I don't know, y'all, it's just who I am now, so I'm just learning to embrace it. But I will say that, if somebody is willing to have a conversation with me, I'll be willing to speak back. There's no problem, but I'm just not the type of person that's going to automatically start the conversation first. No, that's not me. I will not start a conversation first because I will not speak unless spoken to. And I don't know, y'all, that's just how I just do things, but like I said, I feel like freshman year was the time where I definitely socialized more, and I feel like it really ended my sophomore year, because I still did socialize even more. I was a social butterfly, but it definitely stopped by the time my sophomore year came. So freshman year, I built a friendship with this guy, and honestly, that was my bestest friend ever. We just built a serious connection, but it got to a point where it became toxic. Yes, it got toxic, and usually, toxic relationships don't really be working out too well. And that definitely brought out a lot of my emotions as I was dealing with that situation. And then I had a really good best friend in college. It was a girl, and me and her man, we was just so cool. Like we always hung out. The way we met, y'all, I will never forget the way we met, because like honestly, it was crazy. Literally, I remember I got up that morning. I decided to go to their I think it was like a cafeteria. Let's call it the cafeteria, right? Like a dining, sitting type of place. So I went and I remember like I just started going through the line, right? Just picking out everything that I wanted to eat, what I didn't want to eat. And I just made my way around like the whole cafeteria. And then I remember like just looking over, you know, this way. I was just looking over and I saw this girl that just randomly like popped up right beside me. And you know, she definitely followed me like the entire time. I'm not even playing y'all, like she followed me around the whole time. And I started to feel like it was weird, because I'm like, why is this girl still following me? But I mean, I didn't like look at it in like a really bad way. I just figured, you know, she's just, you know, picking the food that she wanted and she's just following me around. But like it got to the point where I realized, no, it was a reason why she was following me around, because by the time I actually sat down getting ready to eat my food, and it was actually breakfast time, right? I remember I had pancakes and I think I had a biscuit, I think. And she literally pulled out the seat right in front of me and sat down right in front of me. And she immediately was just staring at me and she was just smiling like that, right? And I was just like, yeah, okay, this is definitely weird. Like, what is going on? The main thing I was thinking in my head at the moment was like, okay, I didn't ask you to like sit in front of me, so like why did you just take a seat in front of me? You know, like I was perfectly fine alone. Like literally, y'all, that's what I was thinking. But then I was just like, this is awkward, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be rude. I'm not gonna say nothing rude to her, because I could tell like she was just being friendly, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? So, you know, I just started listening to her talk to me. She introduced herself, so then I introduced myself. And like from there, like she was just saying how she just wants to be my friend. And then she was, you know, invited me to hang out with her and stuff. Ever since then, y'all, like we were really good friends. Like, I mean, I remember I went with her, we walked to this plaza. She got her eyebrows done. Come to find out, she would get her eyebrows done where I was getting my eyebrows done as well. So like, you know, that was cool. We both were going to the same place, getting our eyebrows done. You know, we just always will hang out. She was always ready to just hang out with me, always ready to talk to me, always was looking for me. And then it got to a point where our friendship just ended. Y'all, I really don't remember like everything that happened. I don't really remember, but I do remember like she did get upset with me because she started to feel like I wasn't like being a really good friend, because I wasn't like reaching out as much. I do remember that, but then I remember I would like try to explain to her why I didn't, and then like somehow we just rekindled our friendship. And then after that, like we fell out again. But like honestly, like I'm not gonna say any names, you know, I will never say any names because I'm not trying to like put nobody on the spot or nothing. But like, this is my message to you, girl. If you ever come across this video, I just really want to say that you know, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for just being a good friend to me during my freshman year of college. You know, thank you for just, just being so friendly to me, and just you know, always ready to like party with me and have fun with me. And I really thank you for that. And same thing with other person, right? The guy I was talking to my freshman year. Like, if you ever come across this video, I just want to say, you know, thank you for like, you know, just being there for me through it all, as I was going through my freshman year. And I just want to say, you know, I hope you realize the good person I always was, you know what I'm saying? Because like, that's just who I am, you know? So I hope that, you know, as all this time is going by, like, I just hope that you know, you realize that I meant well, you know, that I always had meant well. So yeah, and another thing I will say when it comes to relationships, right? Yeah, I'll be thinking about the music, okay? Because I will say, like, throughout my whole college experience so far, like, me, I love R&B music, hip-hop music, and you know, like, that's just the type of music I like to listen to when it comes to studying, or when it comes to my free time, when I'm just chilling in the room, not really doing too much. I would definitely get on YouTube, listen to my R&B and hip-hop playlist, and you know, the songs I have on repeat would be like Sierra, Alicia Keys, Mariah Carey, Leighton Green, Queen Naja, and just so many other people. Oh yeah, and TrUth, right? So like, yeah, I love those songs, you know, when you can just relate so much to what they're saying. But if you get what I'm saying, then you get what I'm saying. But yeah, as far as relationship goes with my family, I will say, like, honestly, I feel like my freshman year, I don't really feel like my family was like 100% there for me. Like, I feel like they are now, or like how they are, well, how they were like a year ago until now. I feel like not 100%. And don't get me wrong, y'all, I love my family. You know, they ready to help me out in my times of need, whatever it is that I need, you know. But like, I don't feel like they were in the beginning. And you know, maybe because it was new to them, the fact that I just went off to college, and you know, it just was taking them some time to like just get adjusted to the fact that I wasn't gonna be around as much anymore like I was high school here, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it was COVID, it was the whole pandemic, and I was doing online school, and I was always at home in my room, you know, doing my studies, completing my work, being around my mom 24/7, being around my family all the time. But like, you know, I always kind of questioned why they weren't, but I feel like maybe that's why. But like I said, I love my family. Kisses to y'all. And you know, like I said, now I feel like, yeah, they're definitely here for me more than ever now. And yeah, like, I really appreciate them for that. So another thing I learned during my college experience from my freshman year up until now, right, because it is summertime and I will be entering my senior year this fall. But another thing I had to learn, you know, was just, I had to just learn how to spend time with myself, you know, and just enjoy my alone time, and like just keep myself as my own company. And you know, just understand that it's okay to not always be around people, and that I don't necessarily have to have fun just for the fact that I'm around people all the time. Like, I had to learn that, you know, because honestly, I will say, like, after my freshman year, you know, I feel like I did fall into some sort of like type of depression. Like, I was just really sad, because like I just wasn't talking to those people anymore. And I don't know, y'all, like I was just really sad, like several months. It took me a while to like just heal from that, and I had to just learn, you know, to just spend time with myself, practicing self-care. You know, I just continued, you know, dropping content for you guys on YouTube. But to be honest, like, I feel like, yeah, my college experience has not gone as like I thought it would have went in my mind. Like, back when I was in high school, and I thought about the college experience, and I was like, you know, just saying to myself how I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna have a big group of friends, I'm always gonna be out partying, and I'm just gonna be living it up, you know what I'm saying? Like, but once I got to college and I actually started experiencing college, things became a lot different. And I really realized, no, like, I am not a social person. Like, I am more of an introvert. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I realized that about myself. And yeah. But I will say that, you know, there are definitely pros to it. You know, the fact that I'm just keeping myself safe, you know, staying out of trouble. Because, you know, like, a lot of times dealing with so many people at once, it can cause a lot of trouble and issues and stuff and drama and unnecessary things that I don't need. So, you know, being alone can be a good thing. Yes, it can get very lonely, you know, it gets to a point sometimes where I'm just like, oh, I wish like I could always just hang out and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I got friends and now I talk to people now, but like, I'm just not always around these people all the time. But I still got a lot of love for them. And I appreciate you guys so much for just, you know, speaking to me and being my friend and just, you know, talking to me and like just living it up with me. And with that being said, guys, this is the end of my podcast, episode 2, where I talk about relationships. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, guys, also let me know down below in the comment section, like, if I decided to make shorts on YouTube, because I'm still working towards like trying to build my watch hours so I can go ahead and get monetized on YouTube, because that is like the next biggest goal that I have right now. Like, I'm really trying to just go ahead and get monetized. But of course, I need you guys' help, which means I need you guys really engaging in my videos. Like, please watch my videos completely. Just watch it, watch it, watch it. Engage with me. Comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up. If you have not already, be sure to go watch my previous podcast episode, which was episode 1 that I filmed almost a month ago. But yeah, guys, if you guys, you know, would actually watch my shorts, then stay tuned for that, because I feel like I'm gonna try to change it up a bit. I feel like I'm gonna try to start making some shorts as well, especially if I don't really feel like vlogging. Then, you know, maybe I can try to like make a short and it'll be like a super quick and easy video to make. That's what I'm assuming, because it really seemed like it doesn't take that much time to do, but we'll see, because I never made one. And honestly, I always like kind of been nervous about making one, because I don't know, guys, like I don't know, but I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and try to start making some of those. And I'm hoping that, you know, that can possibly get you guys to engage more as well. Possibly, you know, bring even more attention to my channel, which means new subscribers. But I still will be vlogging, y'all. Like, that's not going nowhere. I still will be dropping lifestyle content, fashion content whenever I can drop that. You know, like, you're gonna still see the stuff that I've always posted on my channel. I'm just trying to like think outside the box a little more, and like trying to still possibly do this podcast, because like I said, it seems like some of you guys are actually engaging with my podcast. So with that being said, again, thank you guys for joining today's episode of the LiVinG TrUth podcast, episode 2, where Justania, me, talk to you guys about relationships and how it fits into my college experience. So with that being said, peace out. I love you guys. Stay tuned for our next video.